what motivates you to keep heading to the rink during hard times, like with training and like school, stuff like that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, training is not always easy. And I think there of course for any good skater or any skater in general, it's there are moments where you're just like, okay, this is what am I doing? Like, why am I going to the rink every day to go through something that I can't accomplish and I can't achieve whatever goals that I'm setting out to do. I think that being fluid in your expectations is really important. First of all, you have to have goals, right? You have to have overall goals. Like, what am I physically able to accomplish? What are things that I don't think I'm able to accomplish, I'm looking forward to accomplishing? And what are things that I can easily accomplish on a day-to-day basis? And having those three things very explicitly set out is really helpful when you have moments of hardship, because then you can focus on the things that, what are things that I know I'm good at, and what are things that I can like immediately have like that immediate gratification knowing that I can do well. And those can be really, really simple things like, okay, I can work on my posture today. I can work on my spins. I can work on some edges. And those are things that, like, if you're having a hard, like, I can't hit this jump. I've tried a million times. I cannot hit it. Go work on something else that's related to jump. For instance, like I can't hit quad toe or whatever that day. Work on your 4-3 turn. Work on your edge. Work on, the triple toes, or work on double toes, or whatever the things that like lead up into that jump to make sure that you're successful to jump in the future. And a lot of the times when I end up finding myself in ruts, honestly, I just need a little bit of a break, a little bit of a rest. So it's fine to take a step back from skating just a little bit, to give yourself time to refresh, to sort of like understand why it is you love the sport so much. And as soon as you have that, as soon as you feel like rejuvenated and you feel like, oh, okay, I can do this again, then go back and try. There's not really much of a point in just attacking it all the time, because you end up getting hurt, or you end up just getting, more down in this rut. So those are things that I try to focus on, and just really giving myself time to take a breath, things that I can do immediately that can sort of give me some satisfaction and love for the sport again. And then once I feel ready enough, then I go back and try it again.
Thank you.
Yep. Brian?
Hi. I was wondering, like, if you ever think that you're going to do more rotations in the quad.
I would love to.
Because of this whole quarantine thing, what do you do to like keep fit for when you go back to the rink?
A couple things that I think are very, very important. Focus heavily on whatever you do. Focus heavily on alignment. Make sure that you focus. If you're standing, make sure that you focus on. There's something that my trainer always refers to as the tripod of your foot. So basically, like your big toe, little toe, and heel. Those are things you have to really, really focus. Where are they? Be very cognizant of where your body is. And so focus on those things. You create a sort of tripod on your foot, and that'll keep your balance, so that when you're in your skate, you're able to control what your foot does. That's number one. So if you're ever doing any jumps or anything, make sure that when you're landing, you're really focusing on where your foot is on the landing, and where your pressure is when you're landing. That's one. Two is do a lot of work for your core and glutes. So like glute bridges, side glute bridges, planks, like V sits, V holds, leg lifts, stuff like that. Those are really helpful. So that way, when you're able to get back on the ice, you have a lot less chance to get injured, because your base is so strong. Find a couple days out of the week to do some sort of cardio, whether that's running, biking, if you have roller skates, roller skating. Those are all really helpful. It doesn't necessarily matter the apparatus in which you do your cardio, but mostly just that you get your time in. And I think it's helpful to do maybe one day of just like an extended period of cardio, and then another day of like interval training. And then you can always work on your off-ice jump rotations too, but be mindful of how many you do, and how the technique is. You want to be very productive with those jumps. So every time you do it, make sure that you're focusing on the correct technique, and you can talk to your coach on how they want you to do it, because technique varies from person to person, and there's no set and dry, like, this is what technique is. So talk to your coach and try to experiment yourself with what works. And then once you find that, try to be consistent with that. Otherwise, visualizing things helps a lot. I remember when I was younger, I was injured, and I had a show with Brian Boitano, and I was like, how did you do this when you were injured? And he was like, you just really have to spend time to visualize. And it goes back to understanding exactly what those things you have to focus on are, and then just really keep focusing on that. Keep, seeing that in your eyes, especially when you can't be on the ice. And so, those are all things that I would recommend.